Hi everyone, this is Kim Beasley, your social media tool coach. I am coming to you so that we can get started with the first, yes, the initial dating, wait, let me start over. Hi everyone, I'm so excited. See, we all need a chance to start over, and guess what? Dating coach Ceil Hansen will be sharing today about online dating, and it's going to be great. And before we get started, I want to tell you a little bit about Coach Ceil. She is a matchmaker. She's a certified life coach, and she specializes in helping singles, those who have divorced and are starting over, and she's also written a book. She's an author of 101 Dating Tips for Married Couples. Woo-hoo! So join me in welcoming Coach Ceil to her first online dating show. Yay!
Hi,
Coach Ceil. Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing great. So are you excited about sharing about online dating?
Yes. Yes, I am. I get a lot of questions from people from Facebook or people from Google+, especially now in Google+. And I have been so excited about it because I've been putting together these questions. But I know what I'd like to do is I'd like it to be almost like a girlfriend-to-girlfriend talk, so we can be answering questions, and I can also respond to questions from the audience if we do have some viewers out there who want to ask any questions.
So will you be centering in on men, or will you be centering on women, or are you going to just cover topics that will affect both?
You know, for this show, Kim, let's go ahead and just focus on both, for men and women. So
awesome, awesome. So we already have some questions that have come in, and I want to share them with you first, and then we'll start taking questions from everyone else, okay?
Sounds good.
So, the first question that has come in is an easy one. You ready? Does online dating really work for today's singles?
Okay. Just like any endeavor, when you work on something, you have to give it your all. And when I mean you give it your all, when you are when you put yourself out there in an online dating site, what you'd really like to do is you'd like to present yourself in the most genuine, the most authentic way possible. And we can talk about that later. As a matter of fact, I do have another ebook coming out on the 3 top dating mistakes that people make in online dating. And one of them is, you know, misrepresenting yourself. So online dating will work for singles if, number one, you come in with a positive attitude. In other words, you come from a place of abundance instead of a place of lack, where if you come in and you say, oh my God, all these people are just lying, or everybody's this, or everybody is negative, then that's what you're going to attract. So if you come in from a place of, I'm going to meet each new person and I'm going to treat each new person with respect, then you will be attracting people who will also respect you, and who will also acknowledge you, and who will also appreciate you for what you present yourself in the online dating site. Make sure you put down your latest pictures, and the attitude is more important than anything else. Your mindset is important.
Okay, can we back up to one thing? You said the attitude is more important. Can you kind of share a little bit more what you mean by the attitude is more important?
Over the last 2 or 3 years, no, 2.5 years, I have been interviewing people for my books. And each person, you know, I've asked them about 20 to 30 questions each. One of the things that I noticed among women is that, number one, they still feel that there is a stigma attached to online dating. Well, let's think about it, guys. When you're on Facebook or when you're on Google Plus or when you're on Twitter, you're putting yourself out there. In other words, you join social media, you're putting yourself out to the world, letting the world know, here I am, here's my family, here's what I do, this is who I am. When you put yourself on an online dating site, you're technically letting the world know I'm single, and this is who I am, these are my likes, these are my dislikes, this is the type of person I'm looking for. In other words, I'm letting people know I am looking for a person that hopefully I can spend with for the rest of my life.
Gotcha.
So the attitude, I'm sorry, Kim, the attitude has to be, if you're looking for something, you always want to think in terms of, I'm going to find it. I'm going to find that person. Whatever it is you're looking for. Some people, Kim, could be looking for a long-term relationship, right? They want to get married and all that. And other people could just be looking for friends. They put themselves on an online dating site, but if you look at their profiles, they're only looking to hang out. Right? Or some people just want to get online and put themselves on an online dating site to, they call it hooking up, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people will do that. So it doesn't, and that's the NSA, the no strings attached. So there are a lot of different reasons why people put themselves online. It's a matter of what you are actually asking for. If you are attracting a certain kind of group, look at your online dating profile. Look at the description. Look at the pictures. Are you taking your picture from up here? Right? So, don't be surprised if you get messages from people going, hey, baby. Right?
Well, you mean I can't take a picture like this or take a picture when I'm looking in the mirror?
Well, you can. But you know what's really interesting is there are a lot of men who actually told me that it's very common for them to see a person actually taking a shot of herself from up here. And then they complain that they get a lot of comments about their bodies. Well, think about it, ladies. You know, if you want other people to respect you, then show pictures that would generate respect, right? And for men, if you don't want to attract certain types of women, for example, don't stand in front of your Lamborghini, or don't stand in front of your plane, right? Because you're telling people something out there. Just have a picture of you, just a very simple picture of your face.
I love it, love it, love it. Okay, now this is for those who have recently divorced. The question that came in was, I just recently divorced and I've been told that I should get back out there and meet people. Should I start with online dating, or what do you suggest?
Well, online dating should only be part of your marketing arsenal. In other words, when you let's say when you have a product, you're trying to market your product, you have different ways of creating you have different marketing campaigns for that particular product. You could be putting your product on social media. You could be using strategic alliances or joint ventureships with other professionals, may or may not be in your field. You may be doing a lot of public speaking to promote your products. So you're doing a lot of different things. Same thing with dating. So when you've been married and you're going back there again to the dating world, what you want to do is you want to be able to say, okay, I'm just going to go and I'm going to make myself the person that I know I should be. And Kim, that's another topic that I also want to talk about later on in our future dating shows is I tell my clients, when you first start dating, the first thing you really need to look at is yourself first. Go back to yourself again. But at the same time, when you plan your dating strategy, you want to be able to say, okay, online dating is only one of them. I'm going to go ahead and if my friends invite me to a barbecue, from now on, I'm going to go. I'm not going to make any excuses just because I don't want to socialize.
Whoa. I think we need to put a pin somewhere. I don't want to make any more, okay, I can say the word, excuses. Oh, come on. People don't make excuses. Really?
No, they don't. You're right. You just hear it every day. You know?
So if someone finds that they are making excuses, what are some things that they can do that can help them get past the excuse phase?
They need to think about, number one, why they're making these excuses. Is it fear? Are you afraid of something? Are you, or are you trying to avoid something? Right? We could also be in denial, and we may not even know about it. So once you start thinking about, why am I making excuses? Why am I, and let's use that as an example. Why am I making excuses every time people invite me to a barbecue? I don't join them. There's a reason why. And once you look at the reason or the core, then it's easier for you to say, oh, okay, you've identified it, you've made your assessment, then you can resolve it. Oh.
Okay, so they're going to get back out there, and they're going to get online. Let's say they start online. One of the questions that came in is a really good one. How can I be sure that the person I'm connecting with via an online dating service is actually who they say they are?
Good one. First of all, you need to be cautious about people that you meet online. Number one, anybody can just make up a profile, a character up there, and that's true. You know, there's two kinds of online profiles. The real one, you know, when you meet the person looks like who they say they are. They look like the picture. They have exactly the same hobbies. Everything that they say on the profile is pretty much accurate. And there's the other profile that's really more, I'd like to just call it a fake profile. They put it up there to attract people, and they may do it for many reasons. Maybe they just want attention, they want acknowledgement from other people. Whatever it is, the reasons are. But how will you know, how can you be sure that the person that you're connecting is actually who they say they are? First of all, make sure that you at least send 5 to 6 emails, at least. And I'm just saying 5 to 6 emails because you never really get to know a person after 1 or 2 emails. Right?
Right.
So exchange a few emails, maybe for about a couple of weeks, and then move on to, let's go ahead and talk on the phone. Some people would actually say, let's go ahead and keep chatting. You know, the IM. So they'll chat. Okay, that's fine. You can still get to know a person, and maybe that will save you the time of talking to the person on the phone, because again, it's your time. You're making the investment. Think of this as an investment. Every single thing that you do, every single step that you make in online dating is an investment to whatever goal you have in love. So if you want to find somebody for marriage, that phone call is an investment. 5-10 minutes, it's an investment, right? So, so what I recommend is, first step, exchange emails. If that person passes your screening, and I'm talking to both men and women here, guys, okay, both men and women. That person passes your standards, your screening. Then you can say, okay, then we can go ahead and move on to the phone call. Now you've established a phone connection. Sometimes there could be chemistry, sometimes there wouldn't be any chemistry. And before you realize it, you're listening to somebody and you go, ooh, he sounds like he gets really upset he sounds like he has a temper, or she sounds like she's got a lot of drama. Either way, at least you can start figuring it out. Ask questions. When you're on the phone with that person, ask questions. Now, you make the assessment, and you're going to go ahead and say to yourself, okay, I like this person on the phone. Will I like this person in person? Right? When I meet this person face to face? If your answer is yes, then move on to the next screening process in your own, right? Emails, and then you have phone calls, and then now is your face-to-face meeting. Whether it's coffee or lunch, doesn't matter, or drinks, happy hour drinks.
I like that. Great, great, great advice. Okay, now the next one. I don't know if you're ready for this one. Okay, so I've made plans to meet for the first time with someone that I met online. What are some of the things that I should keep in mind for safety from a male and female standpoint?
That's a really good question, Kim. Safety. Never, ever, ever give your home address. Never have somebody pick you up from your home. You don't want to do that, right? And if a man really understands, and I'm talking to ladies here, obviously, but if a man really understands that, then he will be understanding. He's going to go, okay, it's not a big deal. I've actually had a situation where the person got upset. Okay, and when you tell him, you know, why don't we meet at whatever restaurant? That's a safe, generic place for you to meet, right? And to you, it's you're just getting to know this person. When the person says, you know, I don't really think I don't understand why we have to meet at the restaurant when I can just pick you up from your house. Don't you trust me? You know what you're going to say? No, I don't. I don't. Sorry. You know, so at least establish that. Number two, try not to put your real birthday on these online websites.
Uh-oh. Back up. Try not to put our real birthday. Why?
Well, why? To me, that doesn't make sense. If your birthday, say, falls in September, and it's September 20th, 1975, you don't have to put September 20th, 1975. Just put September 1, 1975 if you want. Or choose another month. It doesn't matter. But there's no reason why. Is this the IRS? Is this a government agency? It's an online dating website. There's so many chances of you giving out. You're already giving out a lot of the information, personal information about you. There's no reason for you to give your birthday. That's just my opinion.
And I agree with you on that. I'm being devil's advocate here. So let's say you connect with someone and you use the wrong date for your birthday, and you start dating them, and it's almost time for that wrong date to come up. How can I put it? How do you explain that that's not your actual birthday?
Bring it up. Bring it up. As soon as you know you've established that you really want to go out with this person, just let the person know. Oh, by the way, you know what? You can even bring it up in a conversation. You know, I don't really understand why people would put their real birthdays on an online dating site. It doesn't even make sense. It's not like they're going to send me a birthday gift on my birthday. So then you can mention, by the way, just so you know, the birthday that I put, you go take a look at it. Well, obviously, hopefully by that time you've already put down your online dating profile because you're already dating this person. But, you know, it's always something to anything that you feel that the other person might feel like you've deceived them, just go ahead and bring it up.
Ah, love it, love it, love it. Wow, these are great, great tips. And I think that as people are watching this video, they're going to get even more, I guess you can say, not just careful, but they're going to have a lot of tips that they can take with them in developing their online dating profile and setting up their first date. And if they've already gone out on dates, then these are also great tips that they can use in their relationship that they created with someone online.
Very
Okay. So I'm online, meet someone that I think would be really great to start a relationship with.
Mm-hmm.
However, we're in 2 different cities,
Okay.
2 different states, maybe even 2 different countries.
Uh-huh.
Tips, advice, please.
Well, first of all, what I really want to say here is I don't advocate long-distance relationships, long-term relationships, long-distance relationships. God, long-distance relationships myself. But remember, guys, that is my opinion, okay? And I do have many reasons for that. However, you will, I'm sure each and every person knows at least 1 or 2 people who've met online, and they came from 2 parts of the world, right? It could be 2 ends of the country, East Coast, West Coast, or the other person's in LA and the other person's in Switzerland. So it could be 2 different things. And it has worked. So I'm not advocating either side. But one of the things I want you to understand is that if you're dealing with, if you have to start a relationship with a person who doesn't live in the same city as you do, your level of understanding really needs to grow. I mean, and I'm talking immediately, because that's where the drama comes in. And you don't want any drama, right? So if you decide that you want to have a relationship with somebody who is not in your city, think of all the different things. So you can even create a list. You can go, okay, what are the things I'm really looking for in a relationship? I want to spend time with this person. I want to talk to this person every day. I want to see this person at least 2 times a day. I want to spend at least 4 or 5 times a week with this person, overnight, whatever it is. Now, if you're looking for somebody who doesn't live in the same city as you do, are those things going to be fulfilled? I don't think so. So don't expect that from the relationship if you decide that you want to have an online a real life relationship with a person that you met online who is on the other side of the globe. Does that make sense?
Yes, that makes sense. And coming from someone who has had long-distance relationships, they can be difficult. Very difficult. And at the same time, they can be rewarding. So it's a personal choice, and it depends on whether you're one that has to have that contact, that daily contact, or whether you're okay with going periods of time without having daily contact.
That's right.
It's you have to weigh the options of what works for you as a person. Because if it's going to drive you crazy being in a long-distance relationship and you can't keep in contact with that person, why go into a long-distance relationship?
To begin with, exactly. Exactly. And there's a lot of other things too, Kim. If you're talking about somebody who's in another part of the world, think about the time. I mean, it could be, right now it's 1:20 here in Los Angeles, it's 3:20 out in Missouri. If you're talking to somebody who's in Japan or somebody in another part of the world, they're pretty much asleep right now.
I've done that. I dated a guy that lived 1 hour ahead of me, and then for half of the year he was in Africa.
There you go.
And it was really, I'm in the middle of my workday, and he's calling because it's a good time for him. And it was really kind of crazy. So, yes, that relationship ended, but at the same time, I learned a lot, and I grew in that relationship. And I identified some things that I was okay with in a dating relationship. And I also realized some things that just did not work for me.
It always is a learning experience, Kim. I really that I advocate, and I tell people who come to me for dating advice, whenever you walk into a dating relationship, and when I'm talking about dating relationship, that's from the very beginning. That's from starting to say hi to each other, winking at each other, flirting at each other, in person or online. That's the start, right? You need to look at it as really as a growing experience, as a learning experience. From every step of that experience, it has to be a learning experience for you.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I actually have some more questions, and then we're going to have you talk about a recent article that you actually wrote. But before we get to the article, let's ask these last two questions. Well, three questions that someone asked that were sent in. So the next one, it not only involves the person, but it involves others. Is there such a thing as having an accountability partner when it comes to dating?
Good one. Very good. It's nice to have somebody that you confide in any endeavor in life, isn't it? It's a human nature. You know, when you're working on a project, you always like to share it with somebody, whether it's your best friend or your best friend at work. It's nice to have somebody that you can be accountable for. Here's another thing, too, about online dating. There are people, men and women, who actually tell me that if they're meeting somebody, they'll give their friend a call and let them know, listen, I'm going to be meeting this person. We're going to be spending the entire day. We're going to go to a concert, and then we're going to go to the park, and then we're going to do this. We're going to be in XYZ area. So just so you know, that's in a way that's really not an accountability partner. It's more of a safety partner. Now, as far as accountability is concerned, that's a good point, because if there are certain things in your life that you want to improve, this is a good time for you to practice.
Ooh. Right? What's practice? What does that do? Make perfect or something?
Here's a good example. I've had people come to me and say, you know, Coach Ceil, I'm actually very successful in my career, but when it comes to dating, when it comes to women, for some reason, I get tongue-tied. I couldn't say anything. I'll just say, hi, I'm Jason, and I'm a... and I just can't say anything. And it's true, right? So what does this person really need to develop? Well, maybe a lot of things, but let's just up front, he needs a little bit of self-confidence, a little bit of inner game right there. So I start coaching him. One of the things that is nice is when you have an accountability partner, you're trying to improve your inner game or your self-confidence. That best friend or that person who's your accountability partner, you can share stuff with this person, right? And this person needs to be honest with you, doesn't have to put everything in rose-colored glasses. This person has to tell you the truth. You know what?
Wait. You said the T word, truth. Ah!
That's right. You know, the person has to tell you the truth, and the person needs to, and it's going to be painful. And you need to be able to accept criticism, because critique is good. So, and by the way, you chose this accountability partner, right? It was your choice.
Chosen for a reason.
For a reason. So be open to whatever this person's saying. And you have the choice to either accept it and go, you know what, this person was right, or you have the choice to say, ooh, no, I don't think so. No, I don't. I mean, you don't have to say that. You can just say thank you, right? But you don't necessarily have to accept it. It's up to you. So, yes, having an accountability partner is good.
I like that. Okay, the next question is a little bit different. Well, it still pertains to online dating, but the next question that was sent in was, what should I keep in mind when choosing an online dating service?
That's a good one. When you're choosing an online dating service, number one, you want to make sure that you are able to connect with a person. Well, let's start first with the cost, because this is a topic that has come up many times. Somebody would ask me, well, there are online dating services that have really a very steep cost, and then there are online dating services that are free. Should I go for the ones that are paid, or should I go for the free ones? Because people always think of, if it's free, then people take it for granted, or you could be meeting a certain type of people. Well, that's not necessarily true. It's not. keep in mind, what you attract is what you put out. So if
say that again. Say that again.
What did I say again?
What you attract is what you put out, or what you put out is what you attract.
What you attract is what you put out. It's true, right? So in other words, if you develop a really yummy online dating profile, really good, make it a little bit, bring out your geekiness, bring out your ability to express your opinion about life. You know, what you think about life, put it there in your profile. What you think about, what are your hobbies? What do you like to do? What are your accomplishments? Have you done anything that you feel you're proud of? Kind of mention it. You don't have to put all the specific details, but you can say something like, I was a Pulitzer Prize winner. You can say, you can even say something like that if you want. It's not an option, but I mean, it's not a requirement, but it is an option. In other words, when you're choosing an online dating service, you want to make sure that it comes with features that you're looking for. Here's an example. Some online dating services have the ability for you to be able to contact other members. Well, that's important, isn't it? Now, keep in mind that a lot of online dating services would let you join. Even if you search them and you Google them, they're going to say you can sign up for free. Now, signing up for free doesn't necessarily mean that it will be free for you to use the other services of this online dating service, right? So you have to understand that your signing up is just you putting your information, your data on their online service, online dating service. For you to be able to probably say hi or wink, maybe that's free. But if that person winks back at you and the person says, hi, my name is John. Would you like to, tell me a little bit about yourself. You may not be able to respond to John because you have not paid for the subscription. And a lot of online dating services have a subscription price, and they vary. And if that is important to you, well, if money is an issue, then that would be one thing to consider. Another thing that I also recommend is when you choose an online dating profile, you might want to consider looking at, now they also have apps on the phone. So online dating services usually have apps on the phone. And it's just kind of nice to always have that. Being able to present your interests, having it, if it has really a good, clean interface and it's easy for you to navigate around that website, then that's good. If you have the opportunity to change your profile description as you go along, that's good. And most of them have it anyways. But I would think that's usually what people ask me though, Kim, is especially the paid ones. Why is it that I sign up and then all of a sudden they get requests for subscriptions? So the other services are just as important too.
Wow, I'm loving this. I'm loving this. Okay, the last question. It leads into actually the article you were going to share about. So, so the person asked, I don't want to make any mistakes when I start back dating. Do you have suggestions of things I could avoid?
That's a good, actually that would lead to the article, Kim. You're absolutely right. I would love to talk about this blog that I'm going to be sending out this week. And it's about the 3 online mistakes to avoid. Are you ready?
I don't know.
Okay.
Bring it on. I'm ready. Come on.
Okay. Number 1. If you don't know the difference between assertiveness and cockiness, you're in trouble. and I'm going to read part of it. There's a big difference between being aggressive or confident and being too aggressive or overconfident or just plain sleazy or slimy from a woman's point of view. If you push too hard for a face-to-face, you will come across as too aggressive, maybe even scary. Try to remember that you are not trying to close a business deal where sales techniques are traditionally being used, and keep the relationship progressing at a slow but steady pace. Patience is the key. And since the number one mistake to avoid is know the difference between don't be too aggressive, or assertiveness is good. We have to know the difference. Assertiveness is good. However, cockiness is also not good, and that goes for both men and women. Okay? We all need to understand, and we need to remember that when we are online, it's okay for us to flaunt our wares, if you will. And what I'm talking about that are your achievements, not the wares that you guys are thinking about.
I agree.
But you're okay. I mean, it's okay for you to say, yeah, you know, I was the -- surfer, you know, back in the 70s or something like that. It's kind of fun to just talk about it. Oops, I'm sorry. But at the same time, you'd also like to be able to say to yourself, I'm going to stop right here. If you sense that the person is not even responding anymore, there's something going on there. Maybe you are coming across as a little bit too cocky for that person, and you're pushing yourself too much. So that's number one to avoid. Number two, expecting perfection. Nobody is perfect. We are flawed.
Are you serious?
Except me. No, just kidding.
Oh!
We're all flawed in some way or another, right? And that includes you as well. If you expect the man or woman to be absolutely perfect and demand that, you'll always be disappointed. You're just setting yourself up for disappointment. Demanding perfectionism in your work is one thing, but demanding perfectionism from a friend or a lady that you're interested in or a man that you're interested in dating is just not fine. It'll never happen. Expect flaws and just deal with them and decide the ones that you can live with and those that you can't. When I start my dating program with my clients, the first thing that I ask them is, we're going to put down a list of the things that you can live with. In other words, the stuff that you have your list of must-haves and your list of deal breakers. Stuff that you cannot live with. You know, these are things that will really break the deal. Must-haves and deal breakers. And you need to have that list. But so at the same time, when you put together that list, this is where your accountability partner probably would come in handy, right? You can even show that list to your accountability partner. But don't expect perfection. Misrepresenting the product is number 3 on the things of list. Mistakes, the top 3 mistakes that you should avoid in online dating. Little white lies and false fronts won't work. Be honest from the beginning of a relationship. When it comes to online profiles, make it interesting, but don't make false statements, because the truth will come out eventually anyway. If you say you're a lawyer who makes $1 million a year and you're really an electrician who makes $25,000 a year, you're setting yourself up for failure.
No.
If you say you're 6'2", but when you meet in person, you really are 5'8" or 5'6", believe me, it's going to be very disappointing.
I've had that happen.
Really?
I am 5'5½", and I had a guy tell me, oh, I'm 5'10". When we meet, he was somewhere probably about 5'6".
Oh.
Yeah.
See, or even your weight. If people say, for example, I'm 100 and whatever pounds, but then you really have gained a lot more, just be honest. Just tell the truth. And here's the way I see it. If you put photos of yourself that, well, you know, when you were 10 years 10 years younger and 20 pounds or 30 pounds lighter, well, it's nice that you know you have that and you're proud of it, but put a date. At least put a date on the right on the photo. Take it in 1986 or something.
Why? I could still look like that someday.
With surgery, right? Well, see, that's the thing. And people sometimes put that photo as their main profile picture. You know, one lady told me, she said she got a wink from this one gentleman who said, you know, I'm this, and they decided to meet. He was really, she said, he was so cute in this photo. When they met, and he had a lot of hair, and it was curly. When they met, he only had hair here, and that was it. You know, so and he was a little bit, you know, heavier than his photos. So just be honest. And here's another thing I wanted to in connection with that. In your online description, it's really not appealing when you say stuff like, you know I'm in my 40s, but I look like I'm in my 20s. Oh, please, don't say that, please. Let the other person judge for you. Don't make that judgment, because you may not look like you're in your 20s.
What? Come on, I know how I look.
Right? So please, don't take that out. Take that out. If it is in your own online right now, take it out. It's not appealing. Trust me. So that's it, Kim. Those were the 3 mistakes, online mistakes that many people make, you know, when they put themselves out there in an online dating site. Number 1, not knowing the difference between aggressiveness, assertiveness and cockiness. Number 2, expecting perfection. And number 3, misrepresenting the product.
Wow. I can't wait for that blog post to come out. Well, it's been really great having you today and allowing me to ask you these questions that have come in. Before we go, can you please let people know how to get in touch with you on Twitter, Facebook, and Google+?
Yes, on Facebook, on Twitter, you can follow me on Twitter at Dating After Divorce on Twitter, and that's dating, and After Divorce is actually spelled AFTRDIVRS. I'm also on Google+, under Coach Ceil with a space in between, and it's Coach Ceil. And on Facebook, you can friend me on Facebook, and you can find me under Ceil Hansen. So it's CeilHansen. And I also have my own website called ceilthedate.com, and it's spelled SealThedate.
Yay! Thank you so much. Well, next week we'll be back, same channel. I'm not going to go Batman way. Oh, we'll be back next week with more questions from our viewers. And if you feel that you want to share your opinion, feel free to let us know. And we will be allowing people to join us in the future. If you have questions that you would like to ask Ceil, please feel free to find her profile or my profile. And my profile is under Kim Beasley. And post your questions there. Let us know what you're thinking. We want to know what you're thinking. Thanks again, Ceil, for coming and letting me interview you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.